Hello and welcome to Mo's channel. Today's the third episode, and the last time we left off, I was in a room with a hostage from the Indian consulate in Birmingham, who'd been kidnapped on Friday night. The message had gone out to the newspapers, media, and all that lot, and we're now on the Sunday. The team that did the kidnapping had gone down to London, had been in touch with Reuters, and they'd asked for the Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front to do the negotiating on behalf of the Kashmir Liberation Army, which was the name that we were doing the thing with. So Sunday, I'd left the room a couple of times to go to sleep. I tried to go to sleep. A couple of times when I heard the sirens, because I didn't know where I was in Birmingham, I went to the front room, the top front room, looked out of the window. There was a main road there. And, I've got all these thoughts about the Iranian embassy siege going through my head. I'm looking forward to the evening because Sunday is the day that I'm going to be going out of this situation. That's what Mhatre said. He said he'd be coming relieving me on Sunday, and I tried to have as little to do with the hostage, Mr. Mhatre, as I could, as I explained before. Qayyum was doing the cooking and stuff like that, having chats with him. It was in Urdu. My Urdu wasn't the best at the time. Excuse me. So the day kind of progressed, and as it was, February the 5th now, it starts getting dark at 3 o'clock. I start thinking about I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock, something like that, maybe a bit earlier. There was some kind of noise downstairs. So I went downstairs, and there was a big door, as I mentioned before, at the bottom of the stairs. I opened the door a little bit, peeped out, and Mhatre was there at the window. So I went to the window and opened the window, and I don't know why he didn't come in through the door. Apparently they'd lost the keys. So I'm kind of excited. I just want out. So I'm saying, what's going to happen? Because I'm expecting him to say, well, look, you can go. I've got somebody else. I really don't want to hear about anything more than that. And he says, we're going to kill him. And I'm like, heads blown, looking for a kind of a way out. So I've said, listen, I've got to go to Birmingham. I've got to go to Leicester. I've got to pick up some papers. I'm going to court tomorrow. I need to go to Leicester because I knew they were going back to Luton. Mhatre was from Luton, and I had to go to Luton to go to court. But I didn't really want to go with them because now I'm getting involved in something more, which is more. And he's saying no, there's our police out there and everything, and you'll get caught. And I'm no, I won't get caught. I'll be all right. Nobody knows I've been here. I'll just go. I'll get a train or a bus or whatever. However, I'm going to go. He said no, we'll drop you off. And then he says, go out and get the screwdriver from the car to take the lock off the back door, so that they can take him out. Oh, mate. So now I'm just, it's just getting worse. It's just, one thing to another. I what am I supposed to do? So I'm crawl out of the window, go to the car, and I get the shock of my life. My brother's in the driving seat, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? And so I've looked, we'll deal with this later. I need to get a screwdriver, so I've got a screwdriver from the car. I've gone to the back, took the lock off the back door. By this stage, they're coming down the stairs, Masarat and Qayyum, with Mr. Mhatre in between. We go out of the house, we get into the car, my brother's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, Masarat on one side, Qayyum on the other, and Mr. Mhatre in the middle, and they're telling him, we're going to go and we're going to let you go. We're going to release you. We haven't been able to, do any negotiation, but that's it. But obviously he's told a lie. I mean, during the day, as Mr. Mhatre was talking to Qayyum, he was, because, now they started to get on with each other. And I suppose if we'd been there for a bit longer, they would have had that kind of Stockholm syndrome, because we were the only people that he knew in this situation. So he was kind of getting really friendly with us. And he was saying to Qayyum, oh, look, I'll write a letter to the ambassador, about, releasing your man and stuff like that, which obviously, he'd say anything, anybody would in that situation. And, he'd written that letter, Qayyum had it, I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, now, because they're dropping me off in Leicester, which, this was a blag really, because I didn't need to go to Leicester, I needed to go to Luton, I just wanted to get away from them. And so on the way, we're kind of going down the main road, I think it's the M69 from Birmingham to Leicester. And I can just see him sort of kind of looking out of the side, looking for a place to take him. So eventually we took a turning off the motorway. We're at Hinckley, which is near Leicester, about 7-8 miles away somewhere. Off the motorway, we're going down this A road, and as we're going down this A road, there's a little B road that's on our left hand side. So Masarat says, stop here. So my brother stops the car, and they get out, Masarat and Qayyum and Mr. Mhatre get out of the car and walk down this this looks like a B road, a tiny little road in the countryside, hedges on both sides. It's dark as hell. We carry on down the road after we left them to turn the car around. There was a housing estate a little bit further down. We turn around into the housing estate, come back out, and as we're going back down the road, we see Masarat and Qayyum running down the side of the road. We pulled the car over, they've jumped in, they're having a row in the back. Well, I don't know what's happened. Obviously, Mr. Mhatre's not there, so they've done the deed, and they're having a row with each other, and I'm like, whoa, calm down. And so now we head into Leicester, and so now the car's calmed down a bit. Sarat saying to Qayyum, Qayyum said he was going to Bolton or somewhere and see some relatives. Qayyum saying, listen, get out of the country as quickly as you can. Qayyum's from France anyway, so if he'd got out of the country, obviously the police, once they get involved, they're going to do their investigation, and whatever happens. But if he's not here, he can't get caught, I suppose. And so as we go onto, I think it was Narborough Road, there was a taxi station, and they've stopped the car, dropped Qayyum off, and I said, look, drop me off here as well. I'll walk to the hall from here. And it was about a mile from the hall. So they've turned the car around and gone off to Luton, gone back onto the M1 from there, and headed off towards Luton. And now I'm, for the first time, by myself. I put my hands in. It's freezing cold. It's a little bit rainy. I put my hands in my pocket. I've got the balaclava. I've looked at. I've got the balaclava in one hand. I put my hand in the other pocket. There's the cord that they use to tie Mr. Mhatre's hands up. When I said before he's wearing sunglasses, well, what they've done is they put tape on the, inside of the sunglasses so he couldn't see. So as I'm going over the river crossing the river in Leicester, I've thrown the balaclava and the cord into the river. Carried on. Jarram Street's not far from there. I've got to my Hall residence. I've got to my room. They've gone straight into the shower. My head's totally battered. I'm having the shower, just trying to, get this situation off me. And now I've got to kind of deal with the lads who, my mates, and I was supposed to be playing football with them that day and all that lot, and they don't know, what's going on. I told them I'm going to Birmingham. I get dressed, I freshen up a bit. I don't know what I'm going to say. I mean, this is just all kind of stream of consciousness stuff just coming out of my mouth. I walk into the kitchen, which was our kind of a common room for our landing, and all the lads are sat there. The TV's on, the news are on. There's an outside broadcast, and they're at the scene that I've just left maybe less than an hour ago. Well, I wasn't on that actual scene, but just away from it. And the news is out, they found Mr. Mhatre's body. And no, they found a body, and they believe it's the missing diplomat, Mr. Mhatre, and etc. etc. The guy standing outside broadcast trailer with a brolly. As I say, it's freezing cold February night, and all the lads just turn and look at me. Mo, what's going on? What's this? What's happened? And I'm like, what happened? Where? I'm like, I'm just claiming I don't know anything. I said, well, I've been out. I've been, I haven't been watching the news, mate. I've been out. I've been, with my mates. I met some lads, and they knew I'd been in Birmingham. They go, this happened in Birmingham. I said, I don't know, mate. Obviously I've been out and all that. The thing was that I had that picture of McGill, but the poster of McGill, but they knew a little bit that, and they knew that was part of the some kind of thing, but I hadn't explained too much to them. It was not something that really that you kind of talk about at length. I suppose I might have mentioned it. I don't know. If somebody had asked me about it, I would have said it. Anyway, that's died down. So now I'm asking them what happened in the football now, because I need to know what happened. So they've told me the whole thing, what happened, what the score was, who scored the goals, how the match went, and all that kind of stuff. So now it's because I didn't have a lot of money at the time either. I was a student, so I thought I'd leave it till midnight and then get a day return to Luton on the train. So I left it till 12 o'clock, went to the train station, got a day return, went to Luton, and I think I can't remember if I think I must have slept upstairs in my bed, and I left a note downstairs to wake me because I needed to go out to court in the morning. It was I don't know, about 4 o'clock in the morning now. I didn't get to see my brother the next day. I went to court, and as I was waiting to go into the Luton Magistrates Court, my name came over on the tannoy. Mohammed Riaz, go to court 6 or something like that. As I've gone there, and the police are there, they say, "Oh, we want to talk to you." And I'm like, nah, it can't be that quick, So where the magistrate's court is and the police station, there's a underground kind of a tunnel that leads from there. So they've took me into the police station. They've started questioning me about some taxi driver who had the same name as me, is living on the same road, and had been driving taxis without a license or whatever. And I said, look, this isn't me. This is not the right address, and it's not the right age and all that lot. And so they let me go. So I go to court. The case for the driving without license and all that lot gets adjourned. After that, I go to the Luton Tech College, and I see Mhatre there in the cafeteria. I don't know what to say to him. We have a little conversation about nothing in particular. He says that he's going to Wales, which I don't know whether he went to Wales or whether he's just telling me, whatever. The way that he had behaved in the last 3 or 4 days, he just shown a side of himself, something that I'd seen kind of briefly before, really duplicitous, manipulative person, that kind of just uses people and lands them in a whole heap of trouble, and then gets away. So anyway, he goes. I get back to Leicester and try and kind of continue my life as if nothing has happened. Now, when I go back to Leicester, I tell the lads that something had happened in Luton and the police had picked me up, and that they were trying to allege that I'd done something, totally unrelated, something to do with driving and all that lot. So if it ever comes down to it, for that weekend, just say that I was with you guys, we played football and all of that. And they said, yeah, all right, no problem. I mean, it's not much of an alibi. But, if it was just a kind of in passing kind of thing, they would have said it, as soon as a little bit of pressure went on them, they would have obviously correct. But I thought, if it is just that, it will just kind of get me out of the first bit of trouble. So, as I say, I start living my life normally or whatever. As it happened, the incident where they shot him, I found out later on what had actually happened, is that where the outside broadcast was, it was a B road, but it was actually a long road that was the driveway to a farm. The farmer had been out, took his wife for dinner on that Sunday night, and they were coming back from the restaurant and had found a corpse in the middle of the road. Had phoned the police, and then all of this thing had happened. Apparently what had happened, when Qayyum ran back to the car, his finger was bleeding. Apparently what had happened was, it's not easy to kill somebody. We weren't trained in any way. I was literally a student, hadn't had any kind of training in anything like that, and I dare say they probably didn't either. I don't really know. I know that they'd been on some kind of hijack before that didn't really work, so they were much more kind of involved in it than I was. And but when it comes down to it, it's not an easy thing to do. And Mhatre had a 38 revolver, and he'd pulled the revolver out, and then Mr. Mhatre, I think he'd asked Qayyum to hold him. And why would you do that? So he said, hold him, and then he's pulled the gun out, and once he's realized that he's going to die, he's tried to grab the gun off him. Now they're fighting over the gun, and Mr. Mhatre's had a cut on his forehead, and he's bit Qayyum's finger, which is where the blood's coming from. And then Mhatre shot him 3 times, twice in the body, once in the head. and that's when they ran back and got into the car and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to kind of live an ordinary life, getting back into student life and stuff like that, and hoping that all of this will blow over. So this is on the 5th of February. On the 11th of February, our man Maqbul Butt was hanged in Tihar prison, where his body remains to this day. They won't release his body. They've buried it in the grounds of the prison, and then so now I'm kind of where I'm back in Leicester. When I'm phoning home, I'm hearing, I don't know whether it's my paranoia or what, but I'm hearing kind of little noises on the phone, and I'm thinking maybe somebody's listening in or something like that. So I've started to ring at, there was travel cars, a taxi firm where a few of our people used to be taxi drivers there. Sometimes my brother used to, as he used to go there and kind of chill out with them in the evenings. He was working as a hardware engineer and dealing with Apple computers in those days. And so I'm phoning travel cars, a friend of ours. Ifti picks the phone up, and he tells me this. I think it was on the 10th or the 11th, around the same time that I think it was on the 10th, the day before Mr. Butt was hanged in Tihar, that he said, look, Azhar and Musarat have left the country. So I'm thinking, well, if Azhar and Musarat have left the country, then they've all gone. And if they've all gone, there's nobody can kind of point the finger at me. So I've calmed down a bit, but what I've done is kind of like, you want to talk to somebody about it at this moment in time. I haven't discussed this with anybody. I haven't told my parents. I haven't told my brother. My brother, obviously, as he knew, but he didn't tell my family. When he left, when he went to Pakistan, he said, like, keep an eye on Mo. So I guess that's his way of saying, well, he was involved, but he didn't actually say it. And so I'm trying to get back into my normal life. I'm going out with my friends in the evening. We're going to the Students' Union building. We're going to clubs. We're going out to the pub. And occasionally I'd say to I'm in trouble. That I'm going to be in big trouble. There's something's happened. What I mean? But I can't obviously say it. And then I think it was the 21st, 17th of February, possibly, maybe the 21st. I hear on the news that somebody's been arrested for and linked to the kidnap and murder of Mr. Mhatre, and they put Qayyum's picture up. And I'm thinking, oh dear, what's he doing here? He should be, isn't supposed to be here anyway. And now it's only a matter of time before, what happens. So, on the 21st, I think it was a Friday, I was in bed. I didn't have any lectures, as I mentioned before. I was in bed, and one of the students came running into my room and said, Mo, there's police at the warden's office asking about you. And I'm like, all right, mate, nice one. And so I jumped out of my bed. I remembered that we'd got some really good Colombian weed, and I was saving the seeds. I thought I could grow them and throw them out the window. I didn't want them to have anything to kind of hold me for. And then there's a knock at the door. And by this stage, I'm jumped back in bed, pretend nothing's happening. There's a knock on the door, And like, who is it? What do you want? Police? Yeah, can we talk to you? I get up, I'm in my underpants, open the door. What do you want? I want to talk to you. And they come in, and I forget that I've got this poster of McBull Butt on the wall directly opposite when you walk into the room. There's like a sink and a desk and all that kind of stuff. I've got, other posters, one of David Bowie, one of Marilyn Monroe, and this one of McBull Butt. One day just got bing straight on it. So they go, look, can we talk to you? And I say, yeah, no problem, mate, whatever, blah, blah. They say, look, will you come down to the station? So I'm going, yeah, come down to the station. How long is it going to be? Well, we'll find out when we get there. I'm like, can I get some fags? They say, all right. So they let me out. I go to the shop opposite, get a packet of 20 Rothmans. Come back and take me down to the police station. There was one Asian Indian policeman, Aisha VS, and an English one with a tash called Dick Drobbert. They take me to the police station and they questioned me all day. I'm like, I'm pleading ignorance, don't know it, haven't been there, was here, blah, 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 all of that. I've given them the alibi that I'd sort of sorted out with my friends. And lucky for me, that night, it was a Friday night, so they went to check the alibi, and they can't find them. And obviously Friday night, everybody's out, they've gone to the hall, there's nobody in, none of the people that I've mentioned are in anyway. One of them, Duncan was in hospital at the time. I think he had diabetes. Used to anyway, insulin and his allergic penicillin. He had problems anyway, and he was actually in hospital at the time, admitted. They've gone to see him. He said, "Listen, I don't know what happened yesterday. I can't tell you what happened, 3 weeks ago." So they went for another friend of mine, Rob, and looking for him, can't find him. He's out on a Friday night. I'm in the police station now for 10 o'clock in the morning. They came, it's 10 o'clock at night. And they're saying, well, I mean, they could have held me for a lot longer, but, there wasn't enough for them to, there was no evidence. And I've got a kind of an alibi. So they're saying, look, Mohammed, we're going to let you go. We don't have to, but we're going to let you go. If you hear anything, you will tell us, won't you? And I'm like, yeah, of course, mate. And as they let me go, they go, oh, we'll drop you off. And I'm like, no, it's all right. I'll walk. And the police station, John Charles Road, wasn't far from Jerram Street, where all the residents are. Jerram Street. At the end of Jerram Street was the Royal Infirmary in Leicester, and opposite that was the prison on Welford Road. So I'm like, no, it's all right, mate. I'll walk. And they, no, it's okay, it's no problem. And so I'm thinking. So I've just gone totally the opposite way to where I usually hang out. We've gone on London Road, stopped at a pub, wagon and horses, whatever it was. We've gone in, and they've gone, what do you want to drink? And I've gone, I'll have a pint of pills. And they've got a pint each. So we're at the bar, and they're looking around to see if anybody will show out to me, whether my friends are there or whatever, or all of that. And I've picked up the drink, pint, and in one go I've just necked it all the way down, put it down, and I've looked at theirs, and theirs are like a couple of sips. But when you've been lying all day and you've had all the pressure on you and all that, and you don't think you're going to be getting out, any little kind of thing is a little victory. So I'll leave it there for now, and in the next episode I'll let you know what happened in my next kind of encounters with the police and what happened after that. So I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.